From the beginning of time, man has always had a pursuit of the best quality of life possible. That quality of life is not possible without resources. The form of resources we have accumulated has changed over time from cowrie shells, state-controlled money, precious metals, real estate, and stocks and bonds. Over the past 100 years, the world has been dominated by the US dollar and its reserves. But everything that has a beginning also has an end. A new financial revolution is upon us with the emergence of a digital economy. The way we earn, spend, and accumulate resources is fundamentally changing. A new asset has appeared that the wealthy have overlooked. Bitcoin has become the best performing asset of the past decade by far. With only 21 million ever in existence, there are more millionaires and billionaires in the world today than there are Bitcoin. Just by holding 0.25 Bitcoin today, will put you in the top 1% asset holders in the world in the next 5 to 10 years. If you would have invested $100,000 in Bitcoin in 2013, today it will be worth more than $15 million. Bitcoin billionaire Raoul Pal says, Bitcoin's performance is so dominant and so all-encompassing that it is going to suck in every single asset narrative dry and spit it out. Never before in my career have I seen a trade so dominant that holding any other assets makes almost no sense. This is not an industry you can afford to ignore. If you want to remain in business, then you must adapt. Are you offering services in Bitcoin? Are you accepting payments with digital currencies? Have you adopted blockchain technology? Blockbuster Video at one point was the most dominant video service in the world. They had the opportunity to be part of Netflix, but they ignored the changing technology. Where is Blockbuster today? Where will you be tomorrow?
Meccano, the cat of tomorrow. No feeding, no fussing, no fur. Clean, efficient, dependable. Thomas! Old Thomas!
Hello everybody, and congratulations on taking your first step into the cryptocurrency world. Now I know it may seem overwhelming. Everywhere you look, on social media, on the news, maybe friends and family, maybe you just driving down the street and you might see a Bitcoin ATM, you're starting to hear about this all over the place. And you might be asking yourself, what is this? How is it going to impact my life? And is it something that I should take a serious look at? The answer is yes to everything. This is going to impact your life. This is going to something that you should look into. But more importantly, this is something that you can profit from. We're talking about the greatest technology to hit the world since the internet is the blockchain technology. Now you might be familiar with just the word Bitcoin. That's all right. Bitcoin is just one current crypto in the entire cryptocurrency market. There's hundreds of them, but Bitcoin is the biggest. But this is something that's going to happen whether we like it or not. So the question is, how can you get involved? We're here to show you how you can get involved. It's 3 basic steps. The first thing that we want you to do is to get educated. You got to get educated on what this is about. The schools aren't teaching it right now, and you're only hearing it from word of mouth. So we have a software program in place that's going to teach you in a structured environment so you don't have to go to school. Schools aren't even teaching this right now, to learn about cryptocurrency. That's the first step. The second thing we're going to teach you how to do is to set up your Bitcoin wallet. Set up your Bitcoin wallet. Once you've got
I want to ask a completely different question for you, Tom, because he's our overall ETF maven here. We have seen a spate of new Bitcoin ETF offerings recently, including from BlackRock. Even though everybody knows the SEC and Gary Gensler is completely hostile to the idea, and everybody said, well, they're going to say no to a Bitcoin ETF, just like they said no to everybody else. But I'm wondering why now? What does BlackRock think they're going to get out of this effort?
You can't get away from your favorite subject here, can
Well,
you?
people ask me about it, and I don't have an easy answer for it.
Yeah.
I always think I'm missing something here.
I think you're right. I think your sniffer
You think
usually
I'm missing
is
something?
No. I think you're onto something. I think your sniffer is always really pretty good, Bob. If BlackRock all of a sudden has filed for a Bitcoin ETF that's not futures based, it's spot Bitcoin,
Right.
okay? And Gensler said, no way, that's not going to happen. But at the same time, they're bringing together some pretty good partners from a custody standpoint. They've got Bank of New York Mellon, they've got Coinbase,
right.
They've got an agreement, a surveillance agreement with NASDAQ to help with the security aspect of it. So they're trying to show the SEC that they're putting all the safety provisions in place to give them the confidence, to give them that acceptance of their application. I think the big thing we know, as Gensler said, we're not going to do anything there unless we have the exchanges regulated, and Coinbase is not regulated.
But that's my question. Do you think this is going to change their mind? I can't without the clear regulatory authority, and they're not getting a bill through Congress. So now he's just resorted to essentially suing everybody. He's trying to regulate essentially by filing complaints.
Yeah.
I don't see how this changes.
If anybody can get it done, would you bet against BlackRock?
No.
You know, they're the behemoth, right? They're the.
That's why I'm thinking. I still don't quite get.
Yeah.
How are they going to change his mind?
I mean, if they can partner with Coinbase and say, look, you agree to get regulated, what would that do to your business? Imagine institutional investments, just 1% allocation to Coinbase, and what that would mean. We're talking about a lot of money.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of people like you that are saying, is this finally the time? Is it going to happen?
We're going to follow this very carefully, folks, because, again, they're not going to waste their time.
Yeah.
Trust me, BlackRock isn't, if they don't think they have some chance of doing something here.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Early Morning Crypto Talk. Bitcoin Brandon from Los Angeles, California. Happy Saturday. Go ahead and let us know where you are logging in from. This is Brandon Ivy. I'm the founder and CEO of Ivy League Crypto Academy, ILCA for short. And let's see, who do we have on the line so far? I see Mr. Albert. Good morning. Nathan, good morning. Martha from Mexico. See you, Steve Randall. Carla from St. Louis, Missouri. Marnita Casa from Colorado. Sonia Elaine Barnes, good morning. Melissa from the UK. Good morning. Joyce Easley. Dion, peace. Steve Randall from Memphis. Ann Perez, Rochester, New York. Elton Poitier, good morning. Kevin Strausser from Georgia, good morning. Carolyn, brand new, promoted to lieutenant. Carolyn, good morning. Anita from Michigan. I see we have good morning from Philly. That might be Gina Muhammad. I'm assuming there. See, we got Mr. Herschel Crow from Texas. Good morning. James Flint from Nebraska. I see Leonard Long. Good morning as well. All right. So good morning, everybody. This is our Saturday public crypto talk that we do. We've had a great week of crypto information. I've been following the BRICS Summit all week. I see you, George, from South Carolina. And we've had a former president indicted in Mugshot. We've had 18 other defendants. We're still dealing with the aftermath of the wildfires down in Maui. Let's see what other news. Oh, Prigozhin gets blown up out of the sky from Vladimir Putin. Who didn't see that coming, right? What was even more funnier was watching Putin's press conference about it. He was a troubled man, you know. It wasn't me, but I'm just saying. He He had a lot of issues and problems in life. He made many mistakes. Thoughts and prayers go out to his family. Really? I see you, Rohan. You're calling it from Santo Domingo today. We also had, was it the Indians that landed on the moon? And the Russians crashed on the moon, or the Chinese crashed on the moon? One failed mission and one that actually worked. I think it was the Indians that landed on the moon. What else? What other anything crazy or major happened this week? No, we had a very, very busy week. I see Corpus Christi, Texas. That must be Provis Lofties. Good morning. Good morning. I also got on a scale for the first time in more than a year, just to see. And I have not weighed this much in I don't know how long. What you guys listen to me every day. How come nobody told me, Brandy, you getting fat? You see it in my face? Am I getting chubbier? Getting fat. So how much do I weigh? I weigh right about the same amount that former President Trump says he weighed when he turned himself in Georgia. Anybody? Does anybody believe 6'3", 215 pounds? Oh man. 6'3", 215, huh? Anyways, yeah, I'm right around there too. I need to do something about that. All right. Really? Whew. Okay. All right. So let's have some fun today. Let's jump into some crypto talk. I played a couple of videos to start off with. The first one we played with BlackRock. The analysts are flabbergasted. They don't understand. How in the world could BlackRock be all into crypto? They must know something. They never get it wrong. My theme for the rest of this year is going to be all about BlackRock and Larry Fink. I even made a post on Facebook yesterday, and it was after I did a private meeting with some other leaders in Vara, and Miss Casa was on with me, and I told them I was going to do an experiment. And the experiment was I was going to go to Facebook and I was going to make one post. Do you know who Larry Fink is? If you do, type me in the chat box. And let me actually show you guys what was the result of that. Let me share screen. And while I'm doing this, as a disclaimer, I am not a licensed financial advisor to be giving financial advice. I share the news for entertainment, training, and educational purposes only, and it is up to you to make your own informed, intelligent decision on which direction you want to move into. All right, so you guys should be able to see my screen. Do you know who Larry Fink is? If you do, type me in the chat box. Let me do that experiment one more time. Those of you listening to me right now, if you know who Larry Fink is, type me in the chat box. So, got some of these answers here. All right, Melanie, me, Tammy, yes. James Davis Sr., yep. Carrie, me. Debbie Tabor, yeah. Greg Thurman, me. Bitcoin Mike, me. Daryl Weston, me. Is that it? I see 14 comments. Why is it only showing me 4, 5, 6? Show me all the comments. No, just all this. Huh. There we go. Dave Winters, Tarmo. Oh, yeah, he said $10 trillion. Yep, Michael Page, me, Marnita, me. Francisco, Yay, CEO of BlackRock. Leonard Long, follow the river of money. Brenda Green, me, Marcus. Larry and his boyfriend, Aladdin. Me, for Stephen Parker. Provis, me. Yeah. And this is an experiment because most people are living in the matrix. Most people can only see up to next week or at most next month. They wake up with one goal in mind every day. I need to make enough money to pay my bills by the end of the month. I'm just trying not to get evicted. I'm just trying to buy food and cover medical costs and put my kids through school. That's us as far as people can see financially. Most people don't do this step right here, and I'm going to challenge all of you to do it as well. However much money you're making right now, let's assume that you will make that same amount of money for the next 20 years every single month. So whatever you made last month is what you're going to make every single month for the next 20 years. How much is that per year? And how much is that total in the next 20 years? And you don't have to pay taxes on it. How about that? You get to keep every single dime. And then write that number down so that your brain can see it. Sometimes a lot of things is out of sight, out of mind with people. Put your head in the sand. But write it down where you can actually visualize it and see it. And then know that every dime you spend to live and survive over the next 20 years is coming out of that number. And then ask yourself, how does that make you feel? How does that make you feel? And then that's why I say, if you want to change that feeling, if you want to change your life, you've got to start making new decisions today that's going to put you on the path of where more money is flowing. See, most people will see that number and they're not going to know what to do to change it. How do I add more money on top of that? How do I increase that outside of what I'm already doing? I'm working a job, whatever. How do I get more without winning the lottery? Well, like Commodore Crow said, not bad, because I know what he made last month. But I also know he made decisions earlier this year to put him on that path, to be in front of the river of money. And he's riding that wave. And it's just the beginning. So why do I say that? Because Larry Fink represents the river of money. He's not the richest man in the world, but he is one of the most influential men on the planet. There's a difference between having money and having power. Just because you have money doesn't mean you have power. And just because you have power doesn't mean you're the wealthiest person on the planet. There's a difference. You know who explains it kind of good? If you watch Succession, one of the kids breaks it down like that. He was like, I got billions. So what? Ultimate depression, on the verge of suicide with billions in the bank. What are you depressed about? It's another level. So if you're still stuck on that number, then you need to be listening to and paying attention to guys like Larry Fink and the power he wields. Now I'm going to help you a little bit. I'm going to play another little clip here. And this will tell you where the river of money is going. He didn't start out this way, although let me rephrase that. Yes, he did. He just wasn't admitting it in the early days. So watch this clip right here. Let me remove myself.
Is it true that you're building out a cryptocurrency capability?
No. I mean, we're looking at it. We're looking at blockchain technologies, and we're looking at all the
But blockchain isn't crypto. Blockchain is just the underlying technology. Well, don't your clients want crypto exposure?
No, I don't believe any client has sought out crypto exposure.
Really?
Yes.
But at some point they might. Do you need to be prepared?
I don't, at the moment, no. I have not heard from any one client they're looking to buy a cryptocurrency at this time. But right now, I can tell you it worldwide, I have not heard from one client who said, I need to be in this.
BlackRock, the most powerful asset manager in the world with a $10 trillion portfolio, is investing in cryptocurrency.
This is not going to be an easy task. Capital is moving, and it's going to move very rapidly. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. We will, and if we can have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement.
Do not be fooled. Don't let Larry Fink's friends go on TV and convince you not to buy this time around. While Hillary and friends continue to sow fear, uncertainty, and doubt about crypto into the minds of the general public, BlackRock has been forced to disclose that they're into it.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of the huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, well, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in an ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we can have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. I mean, the transformation, think about it, instantaneous settlement, bonds and stock. No middlemen. We're going to bring down fees even more dramatically. As for me, I don't have to vote on any shares anymore because the beneficial owner will do all the voting.
And by the way, this isn't the first time he's said this. Larry Fink has been getting more and more vocal on this.
This is one of the reasons why I'm focusing on the whole idea of blockchain for securities. I look forward to the day when we could tokenize stocks and bonds, that every stock and every bond we could identify immediately who is the beneficial owner, and this is why we're working on it, and every beneficial owner from an individual to an institution have the ability to vote, to democratize every single vote. And that's where we want to take this, and we're leading that effort. Oh, I actually believe most of the companies are not going to be around. I still believe that. I do believe
because they're now real, they're frauds, they're what?
Well, I mean, think about FTX. I mean, you could look back now. FTX created it. Its failure was it's creating its own token. It was not a DeFi. It wasn't a ledger that was open to the world. It was a closed ledger.
Right.
It was not distributed. So the whole foundation of what crypto is, it's supposed to be a distributed ledger that is across the system.
Don't listen to what they say, follow what they do. And this guy is telling you and showing you that the future of money is in this space. So that's why I asked the question, do people even know who he is? So the fact that you now do, you cannot have an excuse of not being able to have financial freedom or not knowing where to go, what industry to be in to achieve financial freedom in the future. I just took that excuse away from you. Education. Education is key. Education is everything. So let's go ahead and look into the crypto market right now and see what's going on with the crypto space. So right now, the crypto market is at 1.09 trillion. That is up 0.7% in the last 24 hours. And since we do crypto talk week to week, we've got to go over how has this market changed over the past week. And another thing too is today marks the 60th anniversary of the March on Washington, MLK Jr.'s speech, where people who look like me was screaming to the world for acknowledgement, for recognition, for freedom, for rights, equality. Now, 60 years removed to where we are today, there needs to be a different march. I understand, and I am a Morehouse man, and one thing I know and we've realized, we cannot change the hearts of men. You can't force another person to acknowledge me in their heart, only by law. And a law can always be changed. We just lost Roe versus Wade that has been precedent for 50 years. So laws can be changed at any given time in any generation. The wind of politics, left or right. But let me tell you what should be the new march today. It should be a march for economics, and it has no skin color. It's a class system based on today. If you want to be acknowledged and you want to have freedom, what is your bank account looking like? All we need is access to equal economics. It's all about the green, not white or black. It's all about the green. And that is what the focus should be on right now, not just for African Americans or minorities, but for everybody as a whole. Because like it or not, money talks. Economics talks. What helped make the civil rights movement successful was not the whole non-violent turn the other cheek. It was when you had the bus boycotts and the sit-ins and the ability to affect those in power's bottom line. You affected their money. And the moment you do that, things change. So we should have a focus on economics. And one thing that we can control is our own financial economics. What are you doing to control your own economics today? Learning this is a first step. So the crypto market cap has brought us to where Bitcoin is sitting at $26,000. It is almost flatline over the past week. We kind of had look at it the past week. We had a bump earlier in the middle of the week, and then it came right back down. So we're right at where we were a week ago. And if that's where it is for Bitcoin, that's about where it is for everybody else. But let's take a look and see. Ethereum, though, is slightly down almost 1% over the past week. BNB is up 1%. Ripple is up 3.8% since the beginning of the week. Let's see. Cardano's down to 7%. Solana, okay, this is what I look for, the outliers. Whoa, look at this contrast between Solana and Tron. Solana's down 6.2%, while Tron is up 5.1%. Isn't that interesting? Any other outlier? Matic. Oh, this is another switch. Matic down 5.4%, where Toncoin is up 9.2%. Wow. Shiba Inu's down 3.1%, where Litecoin is up 2.1%. This has been a very weird week in crypto. It doesn't seem to know what it wants to do. Avalanche down 6.5, Uniswap down 6.7. Okay, best performers over the past week. Roll Bitcoin up 31.2%. Sui 18.8%. Toncoin 9.2%. Didix 7.9%. Tron 5.1%. Ripple 3.8%. Quant, Theta, Render. All right. Worst performers over the last week. Pepe's taken a big hit. Have you guys been hearing about what's happening with Pepe? Let's see if this was showing my screen. Oh yeah, I'm on StreamYard, so you're not going to be able to see this. So apparently, I'm going to read something to you. Yesterday on August 24th, 2 days ago now, a series of unexpected transactions took place from the Pepe multi-sig centralized exchange wallet, which is why we're all moving to the whole decentralized section. 16 trillion Pepe tokens worth $15 million were transferred to various crypto exchanges, OKX, Binance, KuCoin, and Bybit, and the required signer account was reduced to 2.8 wallets. The multi-sig now sits with 10 trillion tokens and one signer remaining. So in other words, there was an inside job here. Stole tokens from Pepe. Very interesting. So Pepe dropped 21.2% on the week. Thorchain 17.4%, Caspa 14%, Hedera 12%, Flex 12%, Flexcoin. That reminds me that, oh yeah, how many of you guys remember Sweatcoin? Do you guys remember that one? This app, the Sweatcoin app. I have not been messing with this at all this year, but last year, when I was making sure I was doing my 10,000 steps a day, I was using this app and also my Samsung Health. Well, they are now, there's a countdown where I've got right here, you can see a 3 million balance of sweat coins that you're going to be able to swap your sweat coins in for crypto. So if you've got the Sweatcoin app, download the app or open up your app and follow the instructions. There should be a pop-up. I think I already did it. So let's see if it's showing me here. Let's see, enter the rewards, blah, blah, blah. If you haven't done it, there's a pop-up that's going to tell you how to register to make sure that you can get the swap of these tokens. So walking for money. That's coming up. So open up that app and pay attention to it. All right. So ApeCoin, Multiverse, SIG, CRV, Injective, XDC, Network, Fracture, Uniswap, Avalanche. Wow. These are all down. Okay. All right, let's jump into some of the news. Biggest news of the day, of the week, Trump mugshot. I wonder how long he practiced in the mirror to get this look. He knew that this will be one of the most iconic photos in American history and will be here forever. So, what does he do? Capitalize off of it. Let's make some money off of it. Trump mugshot fuels NFT sales. And didn't I say this the other day? Didn't I tell you this was going to happen? Ex-president's digital cards jumped 426%. Now, I told you guys, I said, if he gets indicted and convicted, his NFT cards that he sold last year are going to be worth a fortune. A fortune. Sonia, what are you asking for to place here? The link to this article? I'm on StreamYard, so unfortunately, I can't. The only thing I can do is post it on my Facebook stream. Because if I post it here, I think the only ones that will see it is on YouTube. Those who's following on YouTube, and also, oh, wait a minute. If you're in the StreamYard, yeah, you should get it. So let me know if you get that. Yeah. If you're on StreamYard, you'll get that when I just posted it. Will I put it in Telegram? Yeah, I'll put it in the Telegram group right now. The ILCA subscribers group. And there you go. All right. Trump mugshot fuels NFT sales. Whether you like Trump or not, you could have made a fortune. Now that I'm thinking, and I was telling my CMO, James Hendricks, about this last year. Yeah, you want to get as many Trump NFT cars as possible. It'll be worth far more when he's long and gone. So after Donald Trump was snapped at Fulton County Jail in Atlanta, his NFT trading card sales skyrocketed. CryptoSlam.io data shows a whopping 426% surge in Trump's digital card sales in just 24 hours. Huh. You want to see it go up 10,000%? Let him be found guilty of just one charge, and he's got to actually go to jail in handcuffs. This will go up 10,000%. Dion, you bought silver and silver coins with his face on it? Like anything, where you like them or not, anything with Trump on it's going to be hot. And he knows it. The saga began when Trump dodged the primary Republican debate this week and later appeared in a candid interview with Tucker Carlson on the X social platform, which was stupid, by the way. Ron DeSantis made that same mistake. He would have better off going to Newsmax or something. Subsequent to this, Trump was processed at the Fulton County Jail, facing a felony charges tied to alleged attempts to overturn the 2020 election results. Has anybody ever been to the Fulton County Jail? I have, not on the inside, but we had to help bail one of my boys out. Doing some stupid stuff back in the day, and I already know right now I'm not built for jail. I'm not built for it. Can you? I just imagine how Trump was feeling walking up in there. Now he was in and out in like 10 minutes. When we had to bail my boy out, we was there for hours. 4 or 5 hours. In a dramatic turn, Trump took to X, marking his first appearance since his ban from the platform during its days as Twitter under Jack Dorsey. Michael, you experienced the Fulton County Jail on the inside. Now, which decade was that? It's only gotten worse. I was there in the 90s. What year was that? I think 96. 96 or 97. But yeah, it's only gotten worse. Let's see. In a dramatic turn, Trump took to X. Here's another thing, too. He has his own social media platform, Truth Social. And because of that, when he was removed from Twitter, he never went back. He's only been posting on Truth Social, which is, as a business owner, you do. If you own a McDonald's, you're not going to go eat at Carl's Jr. or Burger King across the street. So for the first time since 2021, he tweeted. And what did he tweet? His mugshot and a link to raise money. This is where I know he is feeling the heat because he knows he's going to make a lot of money off of that. But he also knows not everybody is on Truth Social. So had he stuck to just Truth Social and not tweeted this, it would have gave him a bump on his own Truth Social network. However, he wouldn't raise as much money because it doesn't have as much reach as he's posting on Twitter. So he sacrificed his company because he's like, my life is on the line right now. I found that very, very interesting. So, making his first appearance since his ban from the platform during its days as Twitter under Jack Dorsey, the release of the mugshot. Now, can anybody let me know, since he tweeted this on Twitter, X, has he done any other tweets on X since? Or was that just a one-time thing? Because unfortunately, I can predict a lot of things that Trump's going to do. He's very predictable. And I don't think he's only going to be able to do it one time. Now that the cat's out of the bag, he's going to have a lot to say, and he wants the most amount of people to hear it. So he'll probably tweet the same thing on Truth Social and Twitter. And that, ladies and gentlemen, will be the downfall of his Truth Social if he continues to do that. The LA County Inmate Reception Center is better than Fulton County's jail. All right. That Fulton County jail, that's one of the worst in the country. All right. The release of the mugshot has notably buoyed the sales of Trump's NFTs. CryptoSlam.io's records revealed that Trump's digital card series amassed around $34,104 from 108 transactions in just one day, a surge of 426% from the previous day. Additionally, a week-long overview shows a rise of 208% in Trump NFT sales. In cumulative terms, Trump's NFTs have garnered $20.68 million from 47,552 transactions. Roughly 14,000 enthusiasts now own at least one Trump digital card, with the average ownership duration being 19 days. Really? They're trading it like that? If you're smart, you might want to get a couple and sit on it for the next 10 years. Of the 14,000 odd wallet holders, about 8,000 have acquired a Trump NFT, while 8,800 have offloaded theirs since the collection's inception. Michael, that's a story. You got into a fight at a Prince concert in the 80s in Atlanta. Was the new Prince, the new generation? Let me think. Who else was hot at that time with him? Besides Michael Jackson. A Prince concert in the 80s. I know that was fire. That was hot. Financial revelations further disclose Trump's lucrative foray into the NFT realm, pocketing approximately $2.8 million. It's also reported that the 45th president possesses a digital wallet teeming with Ethereum, worth at least $1 million. All right, let's go next. Who we got here? Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov. Yeah, Morris Day. Time, yeah. Morris Day was hot. You get the bright color outfits on. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, BRICS is focused on reducing dependence on U.S.-controlled system. That's not... Okay, that's true and it's not true. Remember, this is coming from the Russian foreign minister. If you listen to the South African president and the Indian president, wait, South African and the Brazilian president, you'll hear something different. But this is the real deal. This is what Russia and China wants. They want their focus to be reducing the dependence on U.S.-controlled system. Well, yeah, Okay, let me rephrase that. I'm thinking of about their own CBDC. This is actually true. Every one of those nations, this is true. Reduce the dependence on U.S. controlled system. That is true. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov has declared that the actions of the BRICS bloc, integrated by Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, and they're going to have some new members. I wrote them down. January 1st, 2024, BRICS will now have Argentina, Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates, meaning Dubai. January 1st. I told you the world is picking sides. No one is talking about a single currency now, okay? Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov stated one of the objectives of the BRICS bloc was to achieve independence from the Western-controlled economic and payment system in its internal trade settlements and transactions. At the BRICS summit recently held in Johannesburg, Lavrov explained that this would be one way of escaping the hegemony of the U.S. as the issuer of the dollar. Quoted by the state-owned Russian news outlet TASS, Lavrov stated, all detention is now focused on finding ways to ensure our mutual trade, mutual economic projects, and investments in such a way so as not to dependent on the system controlled by the United States and its Western allies. Okay. Furthermore, Lavrov denied the idea that the bloc was studying the creation of a common currency, stressing that no one was talking about a single currency now. That's a lie. Yes, they were. This contradicts prior reports of economists who claimed that a common currency was being discussed and that its value would be pegged to the price of gold. So Lavrov was lying. Alternative solutions to reduce U.S. dollar dependence. However, Lavrov talked about a possible alternative involving a currency pool among BRICS nations, explaining it could be a precursor to the solution to dependence on the U.S.-managed economic system. Lavrov explained this idea was a forerunner to the steps that the BRICS countries are planning to take, steps to facilitate the use of national currencies, check, but most importantly, to create an alternative payment system, check, that is true. While he confessed that the final form of this evolving solution was unknown to him, that is false. It is known to him. He stated that the bloc should be preparing to advance it further, calling for the creation of a working group to present recommendations to the heads of state that will be discussed at the next BRICS summit to be held in Kazan next year. Oh, I didn't know that. So the next BRICS summit is going to be in Kazan. Let me write this down. BRICS 2024 held in Kazan. I also want to find out where is their youth BRICS summit going to be held. Always pay attention. That's the next generation. It's just like back in the 30s. They used to have Nazi youth summits, youth camps in different parts of the world where they were trying to spread Nazism. Communists used to do it too with the Soviet Union. So pay attention to the BRICS Youth Summit. I was impressed. I was listening to some of the speakers from the BRICS Youth Summit, the next generation, these kids in their 20s, early 20s. That's the future. And so they're the ones that's going to be able to take the mantle up, because I do not believe the U.S., unless something crazy happens, which is possible, the U.S. dollar is not going to be replaced anytime soon by any meaningful. There is still, while BRICS, these nations are all coming together. I was watching, I had it on 24/7. I was paying attention. These nations have so much, there's so much of a big gap between them. Like when you look at the West and you look at the European nation, you look at America, you look at Canada, look at Mexico, they are woven in together. There's not that much of a divide until when Trump became president and started throwing the whole system under the bus. But these other nations, there are huge divides between them. The only thing they have in common is that they all can agree that they're ready for the United States, empire and influence around the world to come to an end. And they want to have more independence. And they know that they can't do it by themselves, that they're better doing it together. That's what's holding them together. But there's a lot of internal strife that they're far away from this. But that doesn't mean we ignore it. All right. Sweeping tax proposal was met with boos from the crypto world. Okay, so this is August 25th, so this is new. Minutes after the U.S.'s long-awaited proposal for taxing crypto gains went public, objections erupted from those tied to the decentralized operations counted as brokers. Okay, what happened? What did I miss? An immediate burst of criticism from the crypto industry shows the U.S. Treasury Department's new proposal on how to handle, and there's a link for this, okay, how to handle digital assets taxed will face a long road as it enters a month-long period of public comments and hearings. Okay, let's take a quick look at this. U.S. crypto tax proposal lets miners off the hook and snares some decentralized exchanges. The IRS is finally proposing rules for crypto tax reporting, giving the industry its own what? Giving the industry its own 1099 form and declaring digital asset miners safe from the future requirements. Crypto exchanges, some hosted wallet providers and payment processors will face new tax rules in as soon as 2 years. The proposal, which is opening to a comment period and public hearings, would exempt miners and certain other types of activities, okay? The Treasury Department has finally unveiled its definition of a broker for the crypto industry, defining how crypto companies and investors will need to meet tax reporting obligations and answering a years-old question over whether decentralized finance platforms and miners will need to gather their users' personal data. The Treasury Department published a nearly 300-page report or proposed rule on Friday, yesterday, in response to the 2021 Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act, saying centralized crypto exchanges, payment processors, some hosted wallet providers, some decentralized exchanges, some, why not all? What is the criteria? And people or entities that redeem crypto tokens they created will be bound to those reporting obligations. Moreover, Treasury unveiled a new custom tax form, the 1099-DA, that these brokers can file, resolving long-standing confusion over whether different versions of the U.S. tax form make the most sense for taxpayers. Miners are exempt from the tax rules, but some decentralized finance platforms will not be. The big exchanges and crypto brokers would have a couple of years to get up to speed on the new tax reporting system, which is a much longer runway than originally anticipated by the lawmakers who shepherded the 2021 Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act and its crypto tax provisions into law. The proposal is so far just that. It's a proposal. Okay, so this is not law yet. It's just a proposal. The government still has to take in all the public comments by October 30th and listen to participants in a set of public hearings on November 7th and 8th. Where the industry may balk is the treatment of decentralized exchanges. And Larry Fink, remember that video I played? He was running his mouth about decentralized nation of tokenization. Some of which could be roped into the reporting requirement, even as they may insist that there's no staff or management to handle such affairs. Yeah, so what the IRS would say is, you're going to have to program that into the smart contract because they can do that. So you don't need a staff. So a good tax lawyer on the government side can use the technology right back on us. Yeah, you don't need to have staff. Just program it into the smart contract that no transaction could take place unless the system has their KYC on file. Yeah, but that can only happen for new. Forgive me, guys. Sometimes when I speak out loud, I have arguments with myself. All right. I say something I'm finding the opposite. But that can only work for new contracts going forward. A lot of these decentralized, you can't go back and reprogram it. It is, once it's programmed, it's programmed. That's the whole point of it. We don't want the creator to be able to come back and make changes. So how are you going to do that? You're going to exempt or say only from this point forward? So the industry will have months to lobby federal officials before anything is set in stone for the 2025 tax year. That gives some breathing room to an industry that had been braced by the overhaul to hit as soon as next year. Since the dawn of crypto, one of the nagging drawbacks of token transactions was the uncertainty about how to pay taxes on gains. The 2021 Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act said the IRS had to work out how digital asset firms should report information on customers' tax positions, something like a traditional brokerage 1099 forms that detail gains and losses. The law, which caught the industry off guard when it sprang from Congress 2 years ago, carried some major worries for crypto businesses. It wasn't specific about whether they'll be asked to provide information to the government that they can't get, or whether it would affect companies that don't have direct relationships with customers, most notably mining operations. So I'm surprised they're excluding the miners on this. Friday's document include the Treasury's push for how to define broker, the most controversial aspect of the 2021 law, and lays out several snapshots for how the rule may be applied to different entities. If implemented, the rules will begin applying to crypto exchanges in the 2025 tax year. All right, that's got to be made firm so that they can't go back. IRS is good for we're going back to 2020. They will make a law now and then backtrack that law, and they can legally do that. 2025 tax year and brokers in the 2026 tax year, while giving the crypto industry its very own tax form for the newly designed brokers to use. So we got 2 years to make as much money as freaking the next bull run. That's going to be right in line, 2025, 2026. So you get that 1099 at the end of 2025. Okay. But are they only going to be holding this for the United States? They have no jurisdiction on the entities overseas. We would have to self-report. How are they going to enforce that? This is part of a broader effort at Treasury to close the tax gap, address the tax evasion risks posed by digital assets, and help ensure that everyone plays by the same set of rules. While the law's original estimate had it raising almost $28 billion in U.S. revenue in its first decade, that number was based on a very different crypto industry during its dramatic rise before the 2022 fall. Treasury officials acknowledged there have been a lot of developments in the industry since then, but they said the revenue expectations aren't their concern. You know what, though? I could spin this into kind of a good thing as well. The one thing about the government, the IRS, is they want their cut. The fact that they're making rules in place to prepare, because they know when the next Bitcoin halving happens, Bitcoin will reach new all-time highs again. We will have mass adoption coming in. We got Larry Fink and BlackRock coming in on board, which means all of his competitors are going to do the same thing. They're sniffing out, they smell money. So this also going to put pressure on the other agencies to back off. Let the industry do what it needs to do to make more money so that the government can get their cut. That's the only flip side to that. Let's see, how long is this? All right. Who's included? The proposals corrals exchanges and payment processors, while largely exempting miners and maintaining and filing the new reports through, though it's murkier on the topic of decentralized exchanges. Brokers, the definition includes digital asset trading platforms, digital asset payment processors, certain digital asset hosted wallet. Again, this is where here, certain. That doesn't mean all. And persons who regularly offer to redeem digital assets that were created or issued by that person. In other words, ladies and gentlemen, you probably, if you like doing transactions right now with friends, just because you're gonna want to stop doing that. It's gonna bite you later on when it comes down to taxes. And unhosted wallet providers that also facilitate or offer services to facilitate their users buying or selling digital assets will be considered brokers alongside hosted wallet providers. Wait, I read that too fast. Unhosted wallet providers. What do you mean by unhosted? That also facilitate or offer services to facilitate their users buying or selling digital assets will be considered brokers. You do not want to be considered a broker by the government. You want to avoid that at all costs. And I'm talking about individually. A miner that receives fees for validating transactions would be exempted. Isn't that interesting? What does that mean? What about stakeholders? Stakeholders also being exempted. Stakeholders are receiving fees for validating transactions and providing liquidity. They call that is not a middleman or a broker for the purpose of this law. According to the documents embedded in analysis, similarly, any other entities that are only focused on validating transactions on a distributed ledger would be beyond the reach of the rules. Interesting. So they're basically saying nodes and stuff is beyond reach of the rules. They got ideas are welcome. Yeah. Let's see here. All right. That's going to be something interesting to follow. But we got 2 years. 5 AI-themed movies to watch. You guys been paying attention to what's going on in the AI market? If not, you should be. You might say, why? Well, let me show you why. Take a look at this.
Meccano, the cat of tomorrow. No feeding, no fussing, no fur. Clean, efficient, dependable. Thomas, oh Thomas, come in here and see what I've got. Thomas, meet Meccano. Mr. Meccano here is taking your job as mouse catcher. Are you through laughing, Tom? Then watch this. Is it okay if I laugh now, Tom? That's how it is, Tom. Progress, the machine age and stuff like that.
So how many of you guys remember seeing that cartoon? I remember it. First, that came out before I was even born. Oh, wow, look at this. This article is written by Alice Ivy. What's up, cuz? 5 AI-themed movies to watch. All right. Let's see if I've seen all of these, and if I haven't, it's on my to-watch list. From dystopian futures to emotionally charged connections, AI-themed movies have a unique way of tapping into our fascination with artificial intelligence. AI has long captured our imaginations, inspiring both awe and trepidation about the possibilities it holds for our future. This fascination with AI's potential has resulted in a plethora of thought-provoking movies that delve into its ethical, existential, and technological implications. This article will present 5 AI-themed movies that offer captivating narratives while delving into the intricate relationship between humans and the machines they create. Blade Runner 2049, 2017. I saw the original. I fell asleep on this one. So I need to put this down. I'm going to watch both of them again. Blade Runner. A sequel to the iconic 1982 film Blade Runner, this sci-fi masterpiece directed by Denis Villeneuve continues to explore the blurry line between humans and AI. Set in a dystopian future, the film follows Officer K, Ryan Gosling, as he uncovers a long-buried secret that has the potential to plunge society into chaos. With stunning visuals and a thought-provoking storyline, Blade Runner 2049 delves deep into questions of identity, morality, and what it truly means to be human. All right, yeah, I'm going to go back. I'm going to watch the 1982 one, and then I'm going to watch this one. Ryan Gosling, Harrison Ford. All right. Ex Machina. I have seen this, but I'm going to watch this again, too, because I might see something different knowing what I know now. 2014. In this cerebral thriller, directed by Alex Garland, a young programmer is invited to administer the Turing test to an intelligent humanoid robot with a female appearance named Ava. As the programmer engages in conversations with Ava, the film raises unsettling questions about consciousness, manipulation, and the boundaries of AI ethics. Ex Machina is a tense exploration of the thin line between hey, don't forget the whole love sexual thing that was going on in this movie. That was kind of weird. Put any little pretty face on a robot and dude still acts stupid. Ex Machina is a tense exploration of the thin line between creator and creation. Her. I don't remember seeing this. Joaquin Phoenix was in this? Wait a minute, Scarlett Johansson was in this? Let me put that down. I don't remember this, though. Her. Spike Jonze's Her offers a poignant and emotionally charged take on the relationship between humans and AI. The film follows Theodore, Joaquin Phoenix, a lonely man who falls in love with an AI operating system named Samantha, voiced by Scarlett Johansson, and their bond deepens. The movie delves into themes of intimacy, loneliness, and the nature of human connections in an increasingly digitized world. Okay? Of course. AI, artificial intelligence, with Haley Joel Osment. This was a trippy movie. I gotta watch it again. Like I said, I gotta revisit all of these because there's gonna be themes I might have missed the first time. I didn't understand it. Directed by Steven Spielberg, based on a story by Stanley Kubrick, AI, artificial intelligence, is a futuristic fairy tale set in a world where highly advanced robots are part of everyday life. The story revolves around David, a robot boy designed to experience human emotions as he embarks on a journey to become real. The film raises complex questions about the nature of love, consciousness, and the desire for acceptance. The Matrix, of course. It would be fun. I need to watch these all over again, too. I mean, it took a large portion of my life. I played the freaking game. The Matrix. A true classic in the realm of AI-themed movies, The Matrix, directed by the Wachowski brothers? No, sisters? Yeah, just the Wachowskis. All right, we'll go with that. Envisions a world where humans are unknowingly trapped in a simulated reality by intelligent machines. The film's exploration of simulated existence, the quest for truth, and the battle for liberation has left an indelible mark on popular culture and ignited philosophical debates about the nature of reality. Most people right now are still stuck in the freaking Matrix, don't even know it. These 5 AI-themed movies offer diverse perspectives on the relationship between humans and artificial intelligence. They delve into ethical dilemmas, existential questions, and the potential consequences of pushing the boundaries of technological advancement. Whether you're seeking mind-bending concepts or emotionally charged narratives, these films are sure to captivate your imagination and leave you pondering the future of AI and its impact on humanity. Oh, there's got to be a whole lot more than just these 5. I want to do a quick list here. Top AI themed movies. Yeah, movies. Let's see. Ex Machina, A Space Odyssey, The Terminator. Yeah, hell yeah. Artificial Intelligence, iRobot. Oh yeah, I need to watch that one again as well because iRobot really dives into a robot doing more than it was programmed to do. Wall-E, my kids, I fell asleep on this. I never finished this movie. My kids loved it. Do I want to go back and watch? No. Matrix, Her, Blade Runner. Give me some more here. Transcendence. I'll put that down. I don't think I saw that. Transcendence. Ghost in the Shell? Yeah, I know that. War Games. Oh, is that the 1984 one? Do you want to play a game? That was a good one. The Imitation Game. Is that Cillian Murphy? The Imitation Game. Interstellar. That was a good movie. AI, iRobot, Wall-E, Metropolis. Oh, Westworld. I need to finish Westworld. I didn't finish the last season. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go on a binge. Because now that if I watch the first season now again, I'll understand. Yeah, let me binge Westworld. There's some beautiful women in that. Avengers, Age of Ultron. Yeah. Moon. I've never heard of this one. 2009. Sam Rockwell, one of his best roles as Sam Bell, a lonely miner on the moon. Moon features an AI computer called Gertie. Okay. Coming to an end. He's looking forward to his reunion with his wife and young daughter. Sam's health takes a drastic turn for the worse. He suffers painful headaches and hallucinations, almost has a fatal accident. He meets what appears to be a younger version of himself, possibly a clone. Huh? With time running out, Sam must solve them. Okay, well, that seems interesting. Let me put down Moon for AI. This was 2009. All of this is, for me, is research purposes. The Matrix, Her, Blade Runner, Chappie. That was a weird, kind of sad movie to me. But that's a good one. Chappie. Bicentennial Man, yeah. Minority Report, yeah. The Machine. The Machine. Came out in 2013. Vincent falls in love with Ava. Oh, yeah. Wait a minute. Another one named Ava? While they are creating the world's first self-aware AI, the work goes terribly wrong when the military steals their technology to make a robotic weapon that no one can control. What's up with the name Ava? Seems that they use that in multiple movies for AI. Okay, I'm going to put that one down too. The Machine 2013. All right. Best films ranked. Yeah. Well, it's not even films. They got Westworld's not a film. It's a TV show. You know that even came out, the first one, the original, 1973. Wow. All right, let's keep moving on. JP Morgan analyst, crypto bear. What is that, Leonard? You posted sports.yahoo. China sex doll makers. The whole AI in the sex industry is going to be off the freaking hook. But I can't click on that from here. Crypto bear market on the brink of conclusion. Really? I don't think so. A study of CME Group's Bitcoin futures and open interest indicates the crypto bear market may be approaching its end, according to JP Morgan analysts, led by Nicholas Panic Turgulgu. I can't say his name. The bank's market experts suggest that there's limited downside for crypto markets over the near term. Well, I didn't see you guys' chats here. Let's see. Tron. Could you consider Tron more? Yeah, that was the first. I looked at Tron as the first metaverse movie. I love Tron. Imitation Game, Cracking Enigma, Machine Cryptography. Oh yeah, Altered Carbon. That's more not AI, but the ability to live forever. Uploading your consciousness. Altered Carbon's a good show. Black Mirror. I have not looked at any Black Mirror shows, and it keeps popping up. Let me go ahead and put that down. Black Mirror. No, I haven't gotten into that one yet. Oh yeah, RoboCop. But RoboCop again is not. Well, yeah. Can you think of it as an AI? It's a human consciousness in a robot body. Well, yeah, he was fighting robots, AI robots. Okay. All right, the reversal on the horizon. JP Morgan sees limited downsides for. Oh, JP Morgan speaking on this. Let me pay attention. Over the past fortnight, Bitcoin and the broader crypto economy have experienced a decline, with the entire market value just above $1 trillion at roughly $1.05 trillion as of Friday, August 25th. Regardless of the recent crypto slump and the recorded $1 billion in liquidations on August 17th, JP Morgan analysts directed by senior analyst Nicholas posit that this decline might have reached its end. I don't agree with that, but let's see. The JP Morgan expert assert that extensive positions in the Chicago Mercantile Exchange's Bitcoin derivatives markets convey a narrative indicating that the recent unwinding has ceased. As a result, we see limited downside for crypto markets over the near term. Stated, what's his first name? I can't say his last name again. Nicholas, all right. Stated Nicholas in Thursday's investors' note. Furthermore, JP Morgan's market strategists examined the recent SpaceX Bitcoin write-off and noted that these reports caught up investors with an overhang of long positions. In addition to this, the investors' note touched on the potential BlackRock. There you go. Everybody's paying attention to BlackRock. Spot Bitcoin Exchange traded fund and several other registrants planning to launch similar offerings. The analyst also mentioned that the recent partial ruling resulting from the SEC lawsuit against Ripple briefly bolstered markets. However, subsequent SEC appeals have suppressed prices. The fading of the above previously positive news has induced a wave of long position liquidations in recent weeks that are still reverberating. Disclosed the JP Morgan market strategist. Nonetheless, the unwinding of long positions appear to be at its end, and end phase rather than its beginning. I don't agree with that. So I'm at odds with him. We'll see who's right. All right, I'm running out of time, but let's see what else do I have here. A third of U.S. investors are open to trusting AI financial advice. That's scary. What else do I have? Atari founder Animoca sees Web3 games as vital. Oh, vital for virtual ownership and education. I am going to cover this one. I was gobsmacked. Nolan Bushnell said his conversation with Yat Siu on Web3 games changed his brain. Really? Conversation on Web3 games changed his brain. I always look at the adjectives here and their descriptions. Nolan Bushnell, the founder of Atari and inventor of Pong, one of the first commercially successful video games. Okay, you got me. I'm ready for this. Pay attention. Has shared optimism for the future of Web3 games, particularly as it comes to bringing ownership to virtual worlds. Oh, I need to put this one into my memory. There's a reason why. Give me 1 second. I gotta pull this up. Right, this slide right here. Let me stop sharing screen and let's bring this back. Share screen. All right. Look at this. Web 2.0, Fortnite, Final Fantasy, Roblox. This is what your kids and your grandkids are playing right now. And some of you are like, hey, B, I play it too. I'm just not going to admit it. In fact, let's see who's bold. If any of you played at least these 3 games, Fortnite, Final Fantasy, or Roblox, type me in the chat box. See what our demographic is. Now, I've been gaming my entire life. I came up with Atari, ColecoVision, Television. Then we had Nintendo and Game Boys. And then we had Sega Genesis, NES. Then we had PlayStation. Do you see where I'm going with this? Over the years, gamers are always moving to the next greatest technology. So where we are right now, see, Marnita's not afraid to say it. Play Roblox. Where we are right now is it's all about these Web 2.0 games, Fortnite, Final Fantasy, and Roblox. Why I came out of retirement in the direct selling industry is because we're moving into a new era of not just gaming, but of entertainment. Web 3.0. What's the difference? Well, Web 3.0, because you can have a metaverse experience in Web 2.0. You can have a 3D experience, a multiverse experience in Web 2.0. The difference is in 3.0, you actually are owning your own content. You own your stuff, your creations. Everything is a digital asset, an NFT. And not only will you be able to pay to play the game, you will get paid. You can make money playing these games, okay? That's the difference. So then, let me stop sharing screen and come back. To what this guy is saying. He's the founder of Atari. So you think he knows something about the gaming industry? And what does he say? Optimism for the future of Web3 games, particularly as it comes to bringing ownership to virtual worlds. This is why I came out of retirement and I'm running my mouth about VARA. During the Digital Entertainment Leadership Forum in Hong Kong on August 25th, Bushnell spoke alongside Animoca Brands co-founder Yat Sui. So now we got two icons in the gaming industry having a talk with each other. And it's these type of conversations you want to be a fly on the wall for. They don't have conversations like regular people do. Just like when I first started to teach my cousin Marnita, and I was saying conversations with broke people is different than conversations that rich people have with each other. And you want to be on the other side. It's like 5 degrees of separation. And sometimes wealthy people will have a conversation with each other in one way, but when others are in the room, they don't have that same type of conversation. You know, they only speak a certain way to each other. So when you've got two powerhouses on the gaming side talking to each other, you want to listen. So Bushnell, whom Sui acknowledged as the grandfather of gaming, praised Web3 games for their ability to extend the concept of ownership into the digital landscape. Games will increasingly imitate all factors of life. This is why I say when I run my mouth about VAR, I'm not talking about playing a spaceship game, doing PvP and shoot 'em up. What I'm talking about is everything that you're already doing on social media right now, you will be doing in the virtual world. It's about entertainment, socialization. He says games will increasingly imitate all factors of life. Web3 with blockchain suddenly, interesting word he uses there, suddenly transmits ownership into the virtual world. And we already have JP Morgan says that digital assets will be worth or more valuable than real world assets. So why do I do crypto talk where I'm reading the news all the time? So what sets me apart from why I don't go the path of the YouTube guys. Just kind of give you some headline on articles of what's happening. No. I dive deep. One, because I'm not trying to be entertaining. I'm learning. That's why I do it this way. And I'm connecting the dots. I hear Larry Fink saying this, Raoul Paul saying that, politicians doing this, the CEO and grandfather of the gaming industry saying this, even Elon Musk doing this. I connect the dots. He says the Atari founder currently serves as the chief knowledge officer at Web3 gaming company Moxie, and kicked off the panel by sharing the top line details of a conversation he had with Sui in the days prior. I was just gobsmacked. I mean, we had, every once in a while you can have a conversation that changes your brain. The light bulb went off in his head. We had one of those. Many of you haven't figured it out yet. I was in a meeting with the CEO of VARA earlier this week, and he was attempting to express what is coming with information he was allowed to share with us at the time. And I was paying more attention to his body language than what he was actually saying. And he was vibrating. He was on fire. It's hard for me to describe. Some of you guys will kind of know what I mean. But he was, okay, think of it like this. Yeah, this is a good way to explain it. Let's say you have your favorite dog, and your dog hasn't seen you for a week. Now, your dog can't talk, but your dog is waiting for you to come home or doesn't even know that you're coming home. And you pull up into the driveway, and the dog can see through the window and sees that you're coming. And you can tell the excitement of the dog, just the dog's body language. That was Greg Stevens. He couldn't sit still for more than 2 seconds. And it's like like firecrackers going off. And I know that feeling. And it's like it was frustration as well. It was, how do I get them to see and understand what I know? Because if they saw and understand what I know, they would not be able to sleep at night. They'd be doing everything in their power to move mountains to get positioned with what we got going on. That's what the vibe he was putting out. That excitement. So this guy, I was gobsmacked. This changed my brain. I'm excited to be speaking at the Delphi event. We've chosen Hong Kong for Moxie.io's entrance to the Asian market. Influential representatives in video games industry and will jointly share their visions of pioneering a game world. Furthermore, esteemed speakers will share with you the potential and new trends in the field of Web3 and AI. So we got Mr. Nolan, Mr. Yacht, founder and executive of Animoco Brands, founder of Atari, Peter Eberhard, founder and chairman, Laura Shi, head of international expansion. Okay. Well, Bushnell launched into his prediction. Oh, okay, a prediction of a world in the not too distant future where the inside of self-driving cars could become a mobile gaming studio. I didn't even think of that concept. So in the future, there will be self-driving cars, but what are you going to do to pass the time? Go to sleep, watch movies, listen to music. What about gaming? Where self-driving cars could become a mobile gaming studio. Sui pointed to the potential of Web3 games to help economically monetize gameplay as games become a more ubiquitous part of everyday life. You know I'm going to have to open that article. The impact that Web3 gaming has already had is that you can start earning money with the engagement of the time that you spend in these games. I had a meeting with some other leaders the other day, and Marnita was on with me. And they asked this question, and I was like, it's simple. How do I get gamers to pay attention to this? You can start earning money with the engagement of the time that you are already spending in these games. This is something you guys want to write down and copy. I will put it in the chat box. Sui said that despite games originally taking the form of player versus environment systems where gamers play against NPCs, non-player characters, the world of gaming, as seen through the rise of Minecraft and Roblox, has evolved to become a multiplayer ecosystem. You don't go to Fortnite to play against yourself or an environment. You go online to play against others, meaning that we, the players, are the content. But the difference is that we haven't really been compensated for it. That was one thing about this game. I spent years playing this game. And I got in it because it was Matrix. I stayed because of the competition of others. I wanted my clan and guild to be the baddest guild out there. But I wasn't compensated for it. and I spent hours a day in that world. Now, these players are going to be compensated for it. So if we've got almost 1 billion gamers that are currently playing right now with no compensation, what do you think that number is going to grow to when there is compensation? That's a no-brainer moment. When asked what he saw as the biggest promise provided by Web3 games, Bushnell said that the combination of KYC and the immutability of blockchain were the best ways to ensure that players in online games were not bots or bad actors. Additionally, Bushnell predicted that games would soon become an essential part of the classroom. You guys saw my course in the metaverse in education, with students learning best by way of story and simulation. If we go back to the early days of mankind, how did we teach? We taught in the form of stories, and stories that were passed down from one generation to the next before the idea of written history. While the positives of Web3 games were readily espoused, Yat Siu noted some of the issues that had arisen alongside the proliferation of blockchain gaming, okay? When you introduce Web3 and blockchain to any system, including games, you're introducing capitalism. Now, that goes back to Ready Player One. Who was the main villain in that movie? And so the problems we have seen in the last 12 to 18 months comes from the fact that these games have become not just capitalist to the studio that produced it, but to every participant. Despite the many flaws, I don't see that as a bad thing. Despite the many flaws introduced by the financialization of games, many of which become readily apparent in the toxicity of play-to-earn games like Axie Infinity, Siu said that the inherently capitalist element would aid young gamers in gaining a financial education. Hell yeah. You want to teach kids about money? Let them to get paid to play their video games. They will learn about money real quick. If the world becomes more financially literate because of Web3 gaming, because they understand something about value, then I think the world will become safer. I don't know about it becoming safer. More educated, yes. More financially savvy, yes. And then this other article here. When did this come out? Oh, August 24th. Play to earn has fatal flaws. How can Web3 gaming be more sustainable? Oh, okay. And this will be the last article. I did have this one as well. Academia divided over ChatGPT's left political bias claims. I will cover this on Monday morning for Inner Circle Crypto Talk. But I want to end on this one. Play to earn has fatal flaws. How can Web3 gaming be more sustainable? Play to earn projects live and die based on whether they have an influx of new users or the means to continue rewarding existing ones. All of this lacks sustainability in the long run. Web3 game development company Corpo says there are significant shortcomings in the play-to-earn space, and a drastically different approach is needed to create games that retain users and achieve sustainable tokenomics. Ever since the heady days of 2021, when play-to-earn games reached their peak, Web3 has been in a period of reckoning. At its height, Axie Infinity was helping players in emerging economies like Ghana and the Philippines earn substantially more than the minimum wage. A crushing token bridge hack and a cooling market later led to rewards being cut considerably. When you zoom out, only a small handful of projects have achieved sustainable growth. And this relates to inherent flaws in the concept of play to earn. Entry costs can be high, with players sometimes having to splash out hundreds of dollars to acquire the NFTs required to get involved. Not the case with Vara, it's just $6.99. And even users willing to make that upfront investment may be disappointed by the quality of the gameplay, with clunky graphics and a non-existent narrative. That ain't Starvara, AAA MMO gameplay. That was one of my issues I had with the Gala. I was looking at the Gala game, and I was like, what? Problems with this model don't end here. Games with revenues that are driven by NFT sales are often at an early stage of their development. Well, that's not the case with Vara. It's not driven by NFT sales. And unless sufficient traction is made with rolling out new features, users can end up exasperated. There can also be pressure to release new collectibles constantly, so there's a continuous flow of income. And as users saw with Axie Infinity, the biggest issue surrounds rewards. While doling out generous amounts of tokens to players might entice new players, it's an approach that can be hugely detrimental to that cryptocurrency's value. Digital assets are volatile, with supply and demand playing a huge role in pricing. By dramatically inflating the total circulation, this waters down the value of what's already in existence. All of this has rather unpleasant side effects. Gamers awarded with tokens are unlikely to hold them unless there is a compelling incentive, adding to sell-side pressure that erodes prices even further. A vicious cycle soon follows. Double-digit falls in a digital asset's value can prompt daily players to take a step back, and as the community dwindles, projects die. Blockchain, smart contracts, governance, transferable in-game assets, digital wallet. Okay. What's the answer? Okay, yeah, what's your answer? The first step to resolving this issue is acknowledging, wait a minute, how long is this? Oh, okay, I can finish this. The first step to resolving this issue is acknowledging today's main risks in the Web3 space. Play-to-earn projects currently live and die based on whether they have an influx of new users or the means to continue rewarding existing ones. All of this lacks sustainability in the long run. There's a lot of short-term hype and a lack of compelling storylines and immersive gameplay to keep gamers hooked. That's why you have an MMO model. I mean, people are still playing Final Fantasy today. What if they were making money playing that game? A high-quality experience could prompt players to overlook a lack of earnings to focus on play instead. But the non-existence of both typically sees bored users head for the door. Projects also continuously struggle between enticing new players while keeping existing ones happy. Finding the solution. Despite the substantial hurdles facing this still nascent sector, Web3 gaming has the potential to be more than unsustainable speculation. Corpo Game Studio is one of the companies shaking up tokenomics through multiple revenue streams, a plethora of top-tier games, and an emphasis on quality over income. Executives say their approach goes beyond tokens and also incorporates NFT sales and advertising opportunities for partners, brand partnership, harnessing social media, PR, influencers, and even branded product placement. The ultimate goal is to ensure one pillar of income supports the other, rather than putting all eggs in one basket. Diversification also extends to the games within the Corpo stable. Citizen Conflict, its flagship hero shooter, is catered specifically for esports. Meanwhile, Animate is an action-adventure title that's not dissimilar to Pokemon, where gamers are on a quest to collect NFTs. And with mobile gaming continuing to surge in popularity, a high-intensity action game called Egos, not Eagles, but Egos, okay, is designed to pique the interest of players who are continuously on the move. Corpo says close attention to gameplay dynamics and design is achieved thanks to how its titles are built using Unreal Engine 5, with its flagship game boasting unique characters and a continuously evolving storyline. An intuitive user interface also means no Web3 knowledge is needed, and gamers can use their Web2 logins, if they wish, connecting their Google, Facebook, and Twitter or email accounts. While Play to Earn has suffered peaks and troughs in its short lifespan so far, Corpo believes the best is yet to come, and greater levels of adoption lie ahead. The best is yet to come. That's what we're already doing. The best is yet to come. All right, that is it for Crypto Talk for today. I hope you guys learned something new. As always, that is the point. I will be back for Inner Circle Crypto Talk on Monday morning, and I have nothing. Oh, I've got one of my clients in 20 minutes. I'm not doing anything this evening. We're on the countdown to our next 5-day challenge, and that 5-day challenge starts on Monday for the month of August. So be ready for that. And I will be doing a Vara presentation tomorrow night. So yeah, we went long today. There's a lot of information I wanted to cover. So thank you guys for being here. I hope you learned something new. As always, that is the point. And I want to end by give you guys a little bit of trailer of what Vara actually is. Take a look. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.